welcome to the Heritage Home Family Farm Kitchen. We are here just sharing with you some of what we love to do, and that is to bring the family together around the table, and we hope that these videos are encouraging for you to do that same thing. And so we're going to be talking a little bit about a dinner that we're having tonight with a lot of stuff that has come either locally or that we've raised ourselves. And to get things started, Marissa's peeling some local Idaho potatoes because...
You have to tell them about where we get the potatoes.
Oh man, this is the greatest thing. So if you're not from this area, you have to know that to get these local potatoes, you go literally to like the potato processing plant where they bring them in by the semi-truck and are washing them and then sending them out. And you can buy a 50-pound box of potatoes for like $15. And you get to pick the size. So we get these like jumbo potatoes that make great bakers. And then, but in this meal, we're gonna chop them up, boil them, and make some mashed potatoes.
Darren's famous mashed potatoes.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, something
Whenever
like that.
we have people over for dinner, everyone's always like, what are in these potatoes? And I request Darren's potatoes. They don't know that I put it all in the back work.
I know. She does all the work on it. The trick is really just salt. And I think we live in a world that people shy away from salt, but if you use good quality ingredients, which is one of the things that we like to talk about a lot, it makes a difference. So good salt, complex, natural sea salt is good for you. Mm-hmm. It has a complexity of minerals. It's not just straight sodium chloride. And so it's good for you. And so we're going to talk more about like
we'll show you the
natural ingredients, but
show you the secrets to this.
So in order to make this meal like somewhat efficient, you do have to get the potatoes started first though. And that's a real trick when it comes to cooking in the kitchen. And a lot of what we've learned is like kind of prioritizing what you're going to do first. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise, you know, the thing you were really excited about is done, but the thing you forgot to get started until late isn't done.
And then you're waiting.
And nothing's terrible like waiting for water to boil at 4,800 feet.
Because it's slower.
Yeah, so she's getting the potatoes going, and I have some pork tenderloins. Now, these pork tenderloins are from hogs that we raised ourselves this year. And if you don't know about hogs and about meat, where it comes from and how to cook it, that's going to be a lot of part of what we're talking about here on this YouTube channel. And one of the things is we actually taught a hog butchering class last fall, and the people that did it really loved it.
That's so fun.
And they got to break down a whole half of a hog. They got to take home all the cuts for themselves, make all the decisions about what types of cuts that they took home. And we have more of those we're anticipating coming up next fall. So if you want to get in on that, because this tickled your interest a little bit, dive in. But go ahead.
Even on our Instagram, I don't know if you know this. I'm going to tell you something new. We have someone interested in coming out from a different state.
That'd be awesome.
Just to do the hog butchering class.
We should do it.
I love it.
We'll send him home with a cooler. That'd be great. So if you don't know though, the tenderloin is this it is the most lean and tender
tenderloin.
Yeah, it's in the name. Piece of meat that comes from the inside of the rib cage up underneath the spine, in the loin area of the hog. So in the back half towards the hindquarter. And you kind of peel it out of there, and it makes this really great cut of meat. And this is like an average sized one. And then we've got one that's a smaller one here. And we'll just trim them up a little bit, and we'll show you that, and we'll season them, and we'll show you how to cook them. It is a tender but lean cut of pork. So really, really good when you do it right, and we're gonna teach you how to do that. All right, guys, so we have our pork tenderloins here. And one of the things that is important when you cook any piece of meat, even if it's just a delicious pasture-raised or locally raised piece of meat, the key really is in the seasoning. And if you are shopping commercial seasonings at this grocery store, you know they're full of all kinds of junk. But we have some that are from our very own kitchen that I want to show you guys. So this is our steak seasoning. All of the ingredients here are 100% natural. So no MSG, no preservatives. This is our Texas rub. And we use sea salt in all of these. So like this Texas rub, for example, chili powder, brown sugar, salt, black pepper, dried mustard, and cumin. So really solid ingredients, and we're gonna just season these up and make them really pop when we get a good cook on them. So we'll look at them. If you get pork tenderloin, whether it's from us or at the store, sometimes you have a little silver skin that you wanna peel off. This can just be a little tough after you cook it when you go to cut it and eat it. So we just slip the knife right under there and get a few of these off, and that will enhance kind of the overall texture of the meat as we eat it and cook it. So we'll get that one out of there and then work some of these off and get these seasoned up and on the grill. Now, one thing to note is that you want to be considering, as you're buying cuts of meat and as you're learning to cook different cuts of meat, what the cut of meat is and the best ways to cook it. And that's one of the things we talk about in our hog butchering class as well. Now, as I mentioned already, this is a tender piece of meat. And so it does not require kind of a slow cook or a lengthy cook. It doesn't require it to be marinated. This is a cut that we can cook at a high heat. We'll sear it off in the cast iron pan, and then we'll cook it at a high heat in a dry oven just until it is done. So for these pork tenderloins, you can go anywhere from 140 to 150 degrees. I think FDA says 145 is safe for pork, and we'll pull those just then or a little before, and they'll finish coming up to temperature. So we're gonna season one of these with our steak seasoning. This one is definitely a family favorite, and when I season it, I just like to get all the sides and get it nice and liberally applied on here. Like I said, all natural ingredients here. You can see that coarse sea salt coming through there. And this one also has thyme and paprika, a little bit of chili powder, a little mustard powder, and that is gonna make this tenderloin just really be the star of our dish today. And it sounds fancy, but this doesn't have to be a long process at all. Now we've also got our Texas rub. This one has that nice black pepper flavor along with the chili powder. Kind of almost a little smoky flavor to it. So we'll get that one seasoned up there too. And then these are gonna go right into a hot cast iron skillet with a little lard that we rendered from this same hog. Okay, Marissa got those potatoes done. They're in the water. They're gonna boil. We got the cast iron started. And then we have some lard that is from our hog that we butchered. So we just grind up all the loose lard pieces, render it down, and it just makes this beautiful, healthy fat to cook with. So we use this a lot. Like I said, that piece of meat is a really lean one. So we'll put a tablespoon or so of lard in the bottom of the cast iron, get it smoking hot, and then we'll sear off those pork loins. All right, guys, so I just pulled this one out of the pan because it is smaller than the other one. And I highly suggest this instant read thermometer. Okay, so you just drop it right in, and we're 142 on this right now, right in the middle of it, 143. We're gonna cover it with a piece of aluminum foil and just lock that heat in there and let it rest.
Alright, so as we finish the potatoes and Darren's working on the pork loin, I am getting ready for the sides. And what we're gonna do is a salad, a green salad. Darren's mom, my mother-in-law, can never go to dinner without a green salad, can she, babe?
That's right.
And I love that about her. So simple green salad. I'm just gonna cut up some tomatoes to go in it. And we are going to make our ranch dressing. And I'm saying ours because the ranch seasoning is our OG. It's our original. It's the reason why we started packaging our own seasonings to give to others and then to sell now on our farm. Ranch dressing, if you go to the store and you look at the back of the ingredients, there is so many additives. There are words I can't even say. There are things that you're like, why is that in ranch? So we decided, for the betterment of our family, specifically our kids who love ranch and put it on literally everything, that we needed to come up with a seasoning that we can make ranch with that we felt confident to serve them. So, ta-da! Here comes our ranch seasoning, and I'm going to show you here in a minute how you can make it super simple. We are all about homemade with ease. It's gonna take you like 2 seconds and it will make enough ranch dressing for your whole family. It will encourage you to get vegetables on the table, and it will make your dinner come together. Not to mention if you have any dips that you wanna make. Oh, sounds like Darren's getting that pork loin on the grill, on our cast iron, which one day, you guys, we will show you. Darren's dad has, how many, I don't even know, how much cast iron does he have?
Oh, it's gotta be like 300 pieces or more.
So much.
I think he's like over 25 just waffle irons. So there's a lot.
He is our encouragement for Grandpa John's pancake mix, which we will also show you sometime. All right, 3 ingredients. That's all it takes to make this ranch. When you order from us at heritagehomefamilyfarm.com, you will get a recipe card. And on this recipe card, it has suggested idea for the dressing and for the dip. I gotta confess that we make it so much that we kind of just fudge it every time, right? So I want to show you that it's so easy peasy. If you put in too much mayo, if you put in too much milk, you can just adjust it to your own family's desires. That's what this is all about, right? Homemade with ease. So we're gonna start with mayo. Our favorite mayo is the one made with avocado oil, but it was on sale, so whoops. We have some milk, an amazing dairy down the road from us. Raw milk, pick it up out of their farm stand, love it. So less milk than mayo. And then our ranch. Be liberal, be generous, or conservative, whatever your family likes. Put it in. Whisk that mayo, milk, and seasoning together to a consistency that you would like in your own ranch dressing. If you like a thicker ranch, then go ahead and do less milk. If you want it more runnier to coat your salad dressing more, just add a little bit more milk. And then what we like to do is after it's come together, we put it in this little cute dressing container, put it on the table, fancy, holds nothing on us. And that is it. You have all the parts of your dinner done, ready, and you can clean up the kitchen, right, babe?
Cleaning up while you cook. Who thinks of things like that?
We'll tell you the story. Okay.
All right, so as Marissa mentioned earlier, there's a little funny story about cleaning up as we go in the kitchen. And if you know anything about Marissa, she likes it neat and orderly and clean, and I'm a little bit of a disaster.
A free spirit. We'll call him a free spirit.
But it gets funny because I will be doing something and working on something, and I'll set a utensil, a knife, a cutting board, a measuring cup, you name it. They're scattered everywhere. And Marissa will come behind me and like clean them up, and I'll turn around to use it again, and it's gone. In the dishwasher, soaking with whatever else is in the sink, you name it.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he's trying to lessen the load
Of the dishes.
The dishes.
Repurpose, reuse, recycle. Something like that. I don't know.
But let me tell you, the majority of the time, those reusable dishes remain on the counter.
Yeah, I'm just making a mess. That's the truth of it.
Well, we like to make our dinners pretty casual. This is probably the fanciest that we get unless our daughter's in charge of the table.
Yes.
If she is, there'll be candles and napkin ring holders and all the things, and we love her for it.
But it is something that we love to do, is really have an emphasis on a regular basis. I'm talking the vast majority of the time, we're sitting down, everybody together, having dinner, connecting on all the points of our day, what kind of things went on, what tomorrow holds. And I think it provides a real connection for the whole family. So we want to encourage you guys to do this too. All right, while you were away, I pulled our other tenderloin out here. And so now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slice these nice, and we do a lot of slicing up the meat before it comes to the table. It just makes the table experience so much more pleasant. So we're gonna start with the one that came out first. And we're just gonna go in like 3/4 inch strips across here. And I'll show you some of them. Look at this beautiful, just a little pink on the inside of it. Nice and tender. This is the one that had that Texas barbecue rub on it. Look at that. It's just a really tender and delicious cut of meat. Ready for potatoes, Winnie? Look at those. All right, here's a trick. Is treat your potatoes like a side, not a starch.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Hashtag.
But this is an old-fashioned potato masher, and when you're treating it like a side, oh, butter! When you're treating it like a side, you're not afraid of that. So the trick is, before you add any milk, or before you add like, if you add sour cream or cream, before you add those things, that is when you want to do all the mashing. Otherwise, make it kind of gummy. So the butter goes in and all of the mashing.
And I think that's the secret to your mashed potatoes, is it's never the same twice.
Oh, no, never the same twice.
You use whatever is in the fridge.
Yeah, we do it with cream, we do it with milk, we do it with sour cream, we do it with butter. And the other key here, like I mentioned before in this video, lots of salt. Potatoes, I know, here's the salt. Potatoes are starch. And so what we have here is just a fine ground sea salt. And we're not gonna be afraid of it.
People are gonna not watch our channel because of how much salt you put in things.
But do you ever wonder, like when you go to a restaurant and you're like, it's so good. You know why? Because they salt it.
Although, we've been to a restaurant that over-salted it, in all fairness.
That was true. We had a burger. It was like a bacon burger and they like put something, maybe a little glaze or I don't know.
Something.
It was real salty. Too salty.
Too salty.
Too salty.
But also, they were probably not using good sea salt either.
Yeah, you use MSG or you use just table salt. It has a tendency to taste salty.
And if you don't believe us on the need for salt, watch any Food Network challenge show, and you will always hear people say, I think we need more salt.
Okay, so the potatoes are fluffy and well mashed, but if you want them creamy, whole milk, cream, whatever you have in your fridge that's gonna add some liquid dairy to your situation is definitely what you want.
Darren is the master mixer. There are, I think, 6 to 8 large potatoes in this, and we'll probably go through them all.
Oh yeah. Okay, mix and then taste.
And then taste, Lenny? No.
They're good.
Daddy's gonna taste it.
Okay,
You want to taste it.
we hope that this has been inspiring and educational for you. Now she wants a taste. We'll eat dinner, yeah?
We'll eat dinner. We should go ring the bell.
Here you go.
Ah!
Okay, ready?
Say time to eat! Time to eat!